Creating from the Heart, the Artistry of Living. I'm here with Stephanie Schwab, who owns a company called Crackerjack Marketing. Stephanie, tell me about Crackerjack Marketing.
I will. We are a 14-year-old digital marketing agency. We've been remote from the beginning. I now live in Barcelona, Spain, although I'm originally from Chicago, which is how we know each other.
Yes.
And my team is all over the world, but our clients are mostly in the U.S. And we do social media and content marketing, mostly for corporations, but we also work with individuals on their executive LinkedIn presence.
Ooh, that sounds like something that everybody needs to explore who wants to have a business presence.
That's right.
Might take you up on that.
Excellent.
That's good. So I knew you when you were a kid. Did you ever think you'd be doing this?
Never. Never. When I was a kid, I thought that I would be a doctor. And
I remember those days.
Yep, all through high school, I thought I was going to go to pre-med and med school. And I got to college, and this huge universe of other possibilities. I'd been math and science, and then I got to college, and I was like, I can take Chinese calligraphy, I can take philosophy, and all these other things opened up to me. And I realized that I did not want to go. I was in a very competitive school where pre-med was cutthroat, that? Washington University in St. Louis.
Yes.
And it was just so cutthroat and so miserable. And I was like, I don't need this in my life. And so I took me a little while.
What an intelligent decision at such a young age.
It was a little bit rough. Like, my parents were not happy. I dropped out of school for a year. And then I went back. I did end up with an undergraduate degree in architecture, which I was just interested in. I didn't know that I'd work in it. And I never did work in it. But it gave me this great design sense. And also problem-solving skills that I might not have gotten in another program, in another degree. And eventually worked after I went to college and made my way to an MBA. And so I have an MBA in marketing, and I've been, gosh, that was almost 30 years ago. It's a long time.
And you've been all over the world while you've been at it.
I have been. I was fortunate enough to study abroad in the Soviet Union, when it was the Soviet Union.
Oh my goodness.
In Uzbekistan. And then in grad school, I studied in Vienna. And I've traveled quite a bit. I started teaching in a university in Barcelona in 2017. And that's how I ended up coming to Barcelona full time, is that I loved.
In Spanish?
No, I teach in English.
Okay.
Yes. And now I also get to teach in Bangkok twice a year. So also in English. So I travel a lot.
But I bet you speak a few languages.
I do and I don't. Like, I learned them long enough ago that when I go looking for a word, it comes to me in maybe the wrong language. And as I've gotten older, like, the fluency, it's just gone. And the Spanish that I'm trying to learn just won't stick. I think it's really hard.
It's all in there.
It might be. But it's hard to learn a new language as you get older. That's what I figured out.
So, I can guess, but what's your advice for young people these days?
I think to go, and you do need to find your passion. I think that that's really important, but I think you've got to be somewhat practical about it too. Because the economy today, I know from young job seekers, it's hard to find a job. You can't really come out of school as an English major and find a job anymore. It's very difficult. So to try to marry what you love with something more practical, maybe minor, or do a double major or something like that in school, like, try to find something so that you can actually afford an apartment, because I don't think that's a given anymore. It was when I came out of school, but I don't think that's a given anymore. So my kid, fortunately, is like on the coder track, on the computer science track. And then every now and then she says, oh, but maybe I want to go to theater school. Well, let's do both, okay? Like, not just theater.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
But she could join a few impromptu things so that she could use her theater skills.
Exactly.
She can be
plenty of opportunity.
Community theater person.
Yes.
And she could wander the world that way if she wanted.
While she's coding to make the money to wander the world.
Oh my God. I used to have a friend. Still have a friend, but was into community theater, and she literally slept in her car.
Yeah.
Because
you
she
could do that.
loved what she did.
Yeah.
She was amazing. So that is quite a story. It's getting from medical
Mhm.
and very brainy stuff to another form of brainy stuff. It's just a different part of your brain. It's like you're balancing those two lobes.
Yeah. Well, in between, I was a management consultant with PricewaterhouseCoopers. So I had this very rigorous, very business technical kind of process learning that I did, where I learned how to set up a project and manage projects and measure projects and communicate effectively to big teams. So before I came to a marketing agency world, I had that experience. And so I'm able to
Fabulous.
blend both that very process oriented technical side with the creativity side. And I think that's what makes our agency successful. And we work with some very big companies because we're able to do that. We're not only the creative side.
What do you like best about what you're doing now?
I love working with my team. I have a team all over the world. We're mostly women, a couple guys. And because I teach digital marketing, I'm lucky I get to hire my students if I think that they're good. And so I have students from from 4 different years of graduation on my team. And so I've just kind of plucked the best ones and gotten to work with them, which is great.
And great for them,
And
I
great
might
for, I think
say.
great for them too. And so I've just built this really wonderful team. We get to work together every day, and that's really, really nice. And we have really nice clients too. So, and we get to do things that are creative and interesting, and sometimes we get to test the boundaries a little bit, and it's really fun.
Stephanie, this is so amazing. I mean, I knew you when.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, probably like 5 or 6, right?
And all of the people who I knew your age then have done such wonderful contributing things to the world.
Yes, yes. Well, like your kids, I mean, I was contemporaries with your kids and with your nephews, and like we've all gone on to do kind of cool things.
Very cool things.
Yeah,
Very cool things.
It's just amazing.
So, did I ask you what you would advise someone who was, getting out of high school, not sure they wanted to go to college? Let's start there.
Okay, so not sure they wanted to go to college is a good question. So my kid sometimes says, I don't need college. I'm a coder. I know how to code. Like, I don't need to go to school to learn how to code. She's self-taught, and she's quite good at 16, almost 16. So there are definitely things that you don't need to go to college for. And I think in some ways, like going for a liberal arts education, like just going for an English degree or even a poli-sci degree today, doesn't get you very far. So if you have something more practical that you would want to do, I think that that's fine. Like a kid that does go to school for coding, like a boot camp or something like that would be great. But frankly, we need nurses and plumbers and electricians. And, like those are all things you don't need to go to college for. You go to other schools, trade schools, but like that, I think that's a great model. So.
And if you're not sure you want to go to college yet, why?
Right. Don't rush it.
Don't pay for something you're not sure you might ever use.
Take a gap year, work, travel, do something, like go figure out what you want to do.
Don't figure it out.
Or don't figure it out, right.
Let it find you.
Right. I think one thing that, as we age, there are certain lessons that come to us. And for me, it's don't rush it. Like if you rush things, you lock yourself into something and you maybe have missed the possibility.
That's true of marriage, that's true
It's
of
totally-
work, it's true of volunteer
totally
stuff.
true of all those things, right? So try not to lock yourself in too much. Obviously, you need to make your way in the world.
And the more you love what you do, then you can respond to what comes up.
Yes, absolutely. And so even if you've got some hobby or something on the side that you love, and then you decide to go work in the restaurant just to make the money, that's fine. But you've got something in your life that's important to you. I think that's the key.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
Okay. And you, I assume, would give similar advice to somebody who all of a sudden found themselves without a job.
Oh, well, I talk to people who are looking for jobs all the time. When they learn that I'm a LinkedIn expert, they say, can you give me some advice? And I'm not a career expert at all, and I don't really talk to like the resume portion of people's LinkedIn. That's kind of like, or people's resumes. I'm not a resume expert, but I am an expert at executive LinkedIn. And so if you are without a job and you're in a job that LinkedIn would be helpful to you, I would say get your profile together. That's the most important thing. And, make sure that the results of what you've done are clear in your profile. So not just like, I did this, I did this, I did this, because everybody can say that. But I did this and I raised $200,000 for charity in 5 days in a special program that I did, right? I did this and I doubled the company's revenue in 4 years. Like, be as specific as you can be, because those kinds of results will elevate you above other people, even if ageism comes into play, as it does.
Yes, I've
But
noticed.
yes. But when you're really specific about what you've done, that catches recruiters' eyes and makes you more noticeable.
Wow, lots of pearls of wisdom here from Stephanie Schwab, who made her way.
Yes, I have made my way. Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you, Suzy. It's so good to see
It
you.
is.
This is so
It's
much
great.
fun.
Okay. Creating from the heart, the artistry of living. We'll see you next time.